Today, we're thrilled to have two incredible guests who truly embody the perfect blend of what our show is all about: Italian American culture, radio broadcasting, and a passion for the 49ers. Joining us are Paolo Butera and John Lynch Sr. They're here to share their unique perspective on the connection between Italian American heritage, family traditions, and of course, their shared love of football. Let's dive into this exciting conversation. Thank you so much, Paolo and John, for being here today.
Ciao, Paolo. Can you tell us how the Lynch and Butera families are connected, and how do you bring together the Italian American culture, family value, and the love for football?
Okay, so the Butera and the Lynch families are linked because my mom and John Lynch Sr.'s wife are sisters. How do we bring the family together? So, one thing that our Italian family and our Italian background brought, and is very apparent, clear, is the passion for family, for friendliness, for being together, and all that. Big John Lynch, who we'll talk to soon, has been bringing together a lot of people at his home, family, friends, for the holidays. Now, I will say we've had experiments some years with the blending of the two traditions. We have new staples, like Big John's pasta sauce every single holiday. Everyone. But yeah, no, it's and for the football, well, he has a pretty famous name in San Francisco right now. He's the senior. He's the one that came first. He actually is the first one that made it to the NFL. John came after.
So I know that, football is in the family. And of course, I know that you are a 49ers fan. So I have to ask, how do you feel about this season and the challenges the team has faced?
As a fan, you had to kind of go with the high and lows, especially the lows. But yes, this season is definitely a different experience because we had the pieces in place. We had the offense that we wanted, but we also had a lot of injuries. We had a lot of missing players. We had a lot of ups and downs, and there's a couple things that personally you miss also from the past, and unfortunately Italians do like to dwell in the past, right? You kind of start thinking about things like this would not have happened if D'Amico was here. This would not have happened if Robert Saleh was here. This would not have happened if we had this player in defense or this player. So any quarterback, any wide receiver, any running back is really put under a lot of pressure. I'll say Kittle is in a good space because he's a tight end. So sometimes he blocks and he looks like he's there protecting everybody. Sometimes he detaches and goes for the... And he's been doing really well.
Highlight of my season.
Right?
Yeah.
Although I have about 50 Italian barbers that would do wonders for what is happening under that helm. Because I'm sorry, the commercials that he had this year. Have you seen the commercials he's in?
Yeah, where he has the bald cap on top of his head and then the long, beautiful, luscious hair.
Yes. That image is haunting because you kind of are like, is that what's going on in the helmet? We don't really understand if that was the thing, but yeah.
What would you say is something you like about Italian culture, tradition, values?
Yeah. The being together is a big part of it, and that's where, Big John is a great representation of that value as well. Although, again, he also likes Italians and certain Italians specifically. He once told us in the car when we got back and we were visiting from Italy when I was living there, and my father and I came here, and he picked us up from the airport in San Diego and had Albano playing in the car, full blast.
Albano e Romina Power?
Well, Albano, yes, it was without the Romina Power part, and so both my dad and I are like, well, actually, my dad said, John, what are you listening to? And Big John came out with Albano. He's Italian like me. He's Irish like me, actually. And that was when we understood that the Irish culture and family traditions are very similar to the Italian ones. Sense of humor, passion, getting together.
Yeah. Welcome to Crave, John.
Well,
Everybody.
thank you.
Obviously, you have a huge connection with the 49ers being of your son. So I want to ask you, how do you feel about this season and the challenges that they faced even as recently as this past Thursday?
Yeah, well, it's a very disappointing and season, particularly when you've had such high standards. And I think, unfortunately, it is all their success that is probably catching up with them a little bit. And they have played now in 5 of the last 6 years, I believe, in the all the way to the championship. And as a consequence, the players have gotten a lot of wear and tear on their bodies, and I think that's why they have so many injuries this year. And so much of sports is luck with injuries, and it really was a challenging year. And I think the only thing at this point is to play well these last 3 games, and then reload for next year and go all the way. And they still have the core of the team to take them to the Super Bowl again.
Can you tell us how the Lynch and Butera family are connected, John?
Yeah. Well, my wife and Paulo's mother are sisters, and they belong to a very large family, 9 children. And Susie, Paulo's mom, left to go to. She was going to school in Loyola in Chicago at the time, and she went to go to Loyola in Rome her sophomore year of college, and she came back 40 years later. So she met the love of her life, an Italian medical student who became a doctor, and they lived first in Rome and then down to Palermo, where Paolo was born and raised in his early years. And but they would come to San Diego, where we have lived for 50 years, for all of the summers. So, and we went 3 or 4 times over to Italy, and so we have been very close as a family. And I heard just a bit of what you were speaking to. Family is a critical part of everything, both Italian, both Irish, of how we all try to be together for each other through the successes or the challenges one has in life. And from that perspective, the cultures are very similar. And so we have great gatherings at all of the holidays, and have really had a great love of each other, and been there through all of it. And unfortunately, Paulo's dad, Dr. Butera, was a radiologist, and he caught cancer and died about 7-8 years ago now. And it was a tragedy. He was one of my best friends in life, and it was a tragedy to see him go. But he's a very highly regarded doctor. And after that, Susie came back to San Diego and lives here now. So we are all together as a family again.
So here at Crave, we celebrate passions. So besides football, Italian heritage, Irish heritage, what is one passion or interest that truly inspires you and keeps you motivated? And this is for both of you.
I will say one thing that really gets me going is my family. I do a lot of things because of the passion and love for my family, and not like, yes, my girls mean the world to me. My wife means the world to me. My mother, my brother, dad meant the world to me. But family in general. So Big John, who's here with us on the show, is one of the biggest reasons why I'm in San Diego. One of the motivators for me to do well and keep going at work, whatever that is. He's taught me the passion in everything you do every day can be redirected to everything. Where it is work, it is a gathering, it is a meal shared together, it is a football game watched together on TV. It's everything is around family togetherness and being together. So that would be my biggest passion.
From my perspective, certainly family is probably the most important thing in our lives. But I've been in media for 50 years and buying and selling radio, television, newspapers, and have done my last act, so to speak. So for my very last act, I am actually writing a book right now, and it kind of details the Lynch family, and so certainly interspersed with the Buteras, but it details the 5 generations from Ballybunion, Ireland to Canton, Ohio, where the Football Hall of Fame is for my son, and that's what I am doing, and hope to have that out sometime mid next year.
Thank you so much. But I can't wait to see you guys next year.
Thank you so much for coming on today, both of you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Our pleasure.